Hi and welcome to another review. My name's Mark from Nature Vape. Today I want to talk to you about the Gate RTA by Ambition Mods. Let's have a little vape. I've got the 2mm version on here on the Atto. It's a 22mm wide mouth to lung tank. Very interesting tank this. I've been following it for some time. Ambition Mods, not a well-known company, but they have got background. They've made products for other people, so they haven't come into this tank just from a standing start. You know, they have got previous for making products, so I think it would have been impossible to bring out something like this as your first product. Okay, well, what can I tell you? We'll go down on the table in a minute, but there's two versions, 3.5mm capacity and 2mm capacity, both 22mm wide, 510 drip tip, juice flow, adjustable juice flow. It's going to be hard for me to show you that with this camera, so I'll save that for down on the table. Airflow, you've got dots on one side, so let's open that up to, I have it on 2, but let's open that up to, where are we? There, to 3, and show you what it's like on 3. And it's also on the other side. Whoops, if I can do it without unscrewing the tank, let's hold the tank and do it. Got a slit. So if you like a super open airflow, you can. Personally, I find that far too open for a mouth to lung. And I also find that it's a little bit all open. Turbulent? Is it turbulent? I don't know, but it just doesn't, for me, it doesn't feel, that was wide open. But I prefer the dots, to be fair. Very good like that. There are other bits and pieces which I'll explain down on the table. It's quite an involved tank, this one. There's a lot going on, so I think the best thing we can do, let's go down on the table. I'll explain the various bits and pieces. There's another jet that fits in through the... Actually, let's just quickly... It might make more sense. Let's quickly show you. There's so many fine tuning parts to this. So there's your 510. It just says Ambition... What does it say on the bottom? Ambition Mods, Gate RTA, and the serial number. This one's 1403. So by getting the Allen key there, if you undo the bottom, and you can do this with the tank full of juice, it doesn't matter. Whee! Drop that. Then you take out this piece, and let's keep that held in the air. So that whole piece, and then with the other little end of this Allen key, just unscrew that, and you change that jet that's on the end there. Okay, so you can do all that out of the tank. You can actually vape it without a jet in at all, and then it's like super open, but that's not really what this tank was intended for. So let's go down on the table, and then I'll show you all about it. I'll put a build in there for you and wick it. Then we'll come back up top and I'll share all my thoughts. See you in just a moment. Okay, so what's in the box? Well, first of all, what's round the box? Let's have a look. It says this one is the 3.5mm RTA, also with there's a 2mm, that's got the box ticked. Front sleeve, not much there. Package contents on the side. And the address of the company down here, Ambition Mods. So, let's get to the interesting stuff. Move that to one side. Well, in the box itself, you've got the tank. Underneath, a little bit of foam. There's your little three-way, whoops, driver. Come on, numb hands, work. In the bag, various O-rings. There's two spare screws. I don't know if you can see that. Let's move it up a bit. Two spare screws there, and a replacement jet there. Plenty of O-rings. We'll get to that jet in just a minute. Let's actually see if we can take that out of the bag so we're ready for it. In fact, let's just tip that out into my hand. Whee, it's come out first. I got lucky for once. So there is the jet. Okay, so we'll leave him there. Right, the tank itself. So let's start at the top. 510 drip tip. Put that down there. Then there's a locking ring here. This is where you fill the tank. So move him off to the side, and then you just rock that open, and that's where you fill the tank in the top with the giant kidney holes. Now if you look, there's a inside this piece, if it's obvious, there's like a hex fitting that corresponds to that piece, and when the two are locked, if you look in the window, let's find it for you, down the bottom here. Now I don't know if you can see that, I might show you more when the glass is off, but inside here, this bit, there are two lines, and that's your juice flow. So when you turn it to there, that's just one juice flow open, and when you turn it back, that's both of them, and that is shut. So that's how the juice flow works. So let's take that off, unscrew the deck. We'll get to that in just a minute. Now the next part of this tank, the glass just slides off those O-rings. It's held on the O-rings there, and so that just slides straight on off. I really like that system. And the into the juice flow part of it, if you just push in there, that comes out as well. And that barrel, I don't know if you can see that with the camera, if it's focusing in, I think it is. Yeah, I think so. It's beautifully smooth barrel there, and this of course is just one piece with two O-rings on it. Alright, so I mean, for ease of cleaning, you know, everything comes out nicely there. So let's now get the deck, airflow on the deck. Oh, that is on my hand, let's move it off. Airflow on the deck, you've got 3 dots one side to one, and then turning it round all the way round, you then got a slit. So if you fancy a wide open airflow, use the slit, and if you'd rather have more of a concentrated mouth to lung, you go with these 3 dots here. Now this airflow does come off, but I'm not going to bother. Don't think there's much to be gained, or shall I? Shall I take it off? There you go. It slides off that O-ring there. Again, easy to clean. To put it on, you just, how I've done it is marry these 2 slits up, turn it, and eventually it will drop into place. There you go. That's now back on. Saves fighting with it. 2-post system for the coil. Now the airflow is there, but if you watch, well, you get the biggest part of this tool here, this key tool. Now if you look at the airflow, that is now completely see-through. This part here goes all the way through, so that's what it shows up there. And the jet I was telling you about, if you again use this tool and use the smallest one in this end, so I'm sort of keeping an eye on the camera and on my hand as well. This will turn that jet out and that will change. This is the bigger one, I think it's 1.2 and the other one's 0.8. I'll correct that if I've got it wrong, but I think I'm right. And the smaller jet you can put in is the one we got out the spares a little while ago. Alright, so we'll put the bigger one in, because that's back in, because that's the one I tend to prefer. But again, you know, nice to be able to clean and get right into it. It takes its airflow through that slit there. Alright, nice big insulator there as well, so we'll put that back. So I guess really if you can't dial in your preferred airflow with this, there's something wrong. Okay, so there we are, it's back in again. Now juice flow, I mentioned earlier, the 2 slits you could see. Zoom in a bit, see if it'll get that. There's the 2 slits there and the holes at the top. So that's what you can see through the tank, and your cotton will go in there. Alright, so I think the best thing we can do is put a build in this and show you how I do it. Hopefully the easy way. Let's hope. I've tried to move the camera today as well, so it's at a slight angle, so hopefully you won't see quite as much of my hand and a little bit more of the deck. That's the plan anyway. Right, today I'm going to be using some Kanthal A1. These are our, oh, don't shine on there too much, Kanthal A1 coils. They're 1.17 ohm, 28 plus 38 gauge, and they're Clapton, single Clapton coils. So let's just pick one out of the tub. Now what we need, obviously these come with their wires facing the same way, so we want them north and south. So they're a 2.5mm diameter coil, so I'm just going to twist that round like that, so they now face the same way, or sorry, opposite ways. Right, so what we'll do, let's unscrew that deck first. In fact, I could use this little tool. Oh, it might make life a little easier. Now the screws, they come out an awful long way, so don't worry about over unscrewing them to get your wires in. You've got plenty of threads on those screws. Okay, so what I've been doing, you want the bottom of the coil facing down, and literally just lay it in there like that. That's all you've got to do. What did I say about my hands in the way? There we are, tighten this one up. That's tight too, so let's just pull that slightly off the base, because that will lay right against the airflow hole. And just have it's a little bit high, we can go a bit lower than that. That's a little bit low. We'll get there in the end. Still a touch low. It's alright, it's just me being my normal fussy self. I think that's alright, and if you can see the height of that coil, oops, gone too far. You want it quite close. It's not helping that I've got that background against it, is it? How's that? I think you get the point. So let's give those wires a clip. Going nice and close. There's one in the bin. Two. Now we'll just give them a little pulse. Should end up, I don't know, just over 1 ohm, I think, the coil. That's looking pretty good. No hot spots there. Even I can't see what the coil is. So 1.05. There we are. Try that again. Yep, that's burning nicely. So we'll turn that off. Cotton, cotton, cotton. I found the cotton, not my scissors. I've been trying to do this review all day and something keeps getting in the way of me being able to do it, so I don't feel prepared. No change there, nothing new. Right, and okay, same as normal, just a piece of Muji 2.5mm coil. So just take the top piece off there, turn it over, take the next piece off, just the top 2 layers, that'll be fine. What I tend to do is just roll it up like that. I think there might be a bit too much on here, but we can soon, if you've done too much, quite easy just to drag a little off like that. Just makes it easier to put it through. I think it was my woodwork teacher who told me you can always take a little more off, but you can't add it back on. Those are the days. Right, okay, well that's plenty off. That might actually be a bit too loose. Well, I think it'll be alright. I think it'll be alright. You can could have gone a little bit more than that. Thicker wires. Right, if you cut to the width here, that should be fine. Move him out of the way. This has got to be the easiest, one of the easiest tanks to wick and coil. So then just grab your piece of wick, turn it upside down. Well, I suppose I asked for that. And push it in the slot Come on. Once it gets that's it. Once it gets a start, it'll go in there. It's going in and bouncing straight out again. Same with the other side. I think I need some more tweezers. These tend to close up a bit. I think my old woodwork teacher told me that as well. A bad start again. A bad work always blames his tools. Right, enough of those old expressions. Let's concentrate. So turn it upside down, and that's it. Just push it in the wicking channel. Just make sure you got it all in there. A little bit out there. In you go. That's it. So as long as you've got, it's going to take its liquid from these two holes here. And as long as you've got those nicely covered up, that'll be fine. Same with that side. Right, I'm going to try some of my new juice, which is the strawberry custard. Let's hold that in shot for you. 9 milligram. It's probably a little young yet, but we'll have a good idea of what it's going to be like. So just drip some on there. Turn it on again just to lovely. Okay, let's get this tank back together. So we've got in sequence the top piece or the glass, and just push that on there. The juice flow, I don't know why I tend to put that going anywhere, but I tend to put that so that get a little pointer, so you can see all the juice flow in one of the windows, so you will then see it at some point on the tank. So we'll put that on there. Okay, that's nice and tight. Put the juice in. Loads of room for that juice. Drop on. That just pushes on an O-ring. Drop on the top. Threads are all good on this one. Finally, the drip tip. Take it off there. Right, so let's see where our juice flow is. Let's find, here it is in the window. I haven't put as much juice in there as I could have done, but hopefully you can see two lines there and there. Let's move that right up, see if it will focus in. Possibly not, but anyway, that is now open. It's actually more obvious with juice on, but I thought I filled it up more than that. So let's go back up the top, put that on its two air holes is about where I normally have it. So we'll go back up the top and we'll have a vape. See you in just a minute. Okay, welcome back. Right, let's get this on a mod. Could have done that really. Never mind. New coil, yes. Right, 12 watts, I think that's fine. The coils come out at 1.04. I think I might just about be able to make that out. So, I'll just have a little primer puff. I think I I primed the wick quite well anyway, so let's have a vape. That's a rattler. That's rattling well. I think what it is, I actually mentioned it when I put the wick in. I could have made that a bit thicker, so there's a lot of juice sitting on that Clapton coil. But I actually quite like it when they're poppy. But to get rid of that poppiness, you would just put more wick through there. But that surprised me. It's quite poppy. But it is vaping quite the thing. That's a strawberry custard. That's one of our new concentrates I think we're going to be doing, and that's very pleasant too. So that's the first time genuinely I've tried that juice. So that's on 2 airflow holes. Let's put it up to 3 of those dots. I don't know if you can see that. It is on 3. If I didn't show it very well, it is on 3. Let's have a go at that one. That's quite a bit more of an open draw. This is all with the bigger jet. I'm going to call it a jet that goes in the 510. I'm going to be honest, the smaller one is too restricted for me. That's very restricted. But if you like a really tight mouth to lung, that's the one to use. But that's too tight for me. So I think the best thing I can do is I'll show you see if this works. Here we are. Here it is on the website. This is the 2mm version. You can see the specs for yourself if I reel it up. We were fortunate enough, I'm in the corner to this shot, aren't I? We were fortunate enough that we've got exclusive rights to this tank in the UK. So you'll know where to get them from. Yeah, I think that will do. I think if you haven't had a chance to read that in full, just pause that on your video and you can watch. So what do I think about it? Well, I've been following this tank for a little while, and it really did interest me with all the features that they'd packed into it. And it's not, I mean, if you what else have I got here? I did a review of this a little while ago, the K-Fun. So let's put them height by height, and that K-Fun's a little short dinky fella. You know, there's not too much difference there in the height. So they've packed a lot into this for the size of the tank. So positive points. Well, I think it's quite elegant. I like the design of it. I like the the general appearance. Possibly, I'm going to say this adjuster at the top here is castellated. I don't know, it's personal preference. Would that have been nicer with a little dome on there? I don't know. But I think they've done a good job on that. I like the juice flow. You can, and it actually works, the juice flow. I've tried it. If you're running quite a high VG liquid, you would have it wide open. But if you're running a very thin PG based liquid, then you can tune it down so that only one of those lines is visible. And the lines I was talking about, you might be able to see them now through that window. And if can I turn it? Yeah, can you see that turning there in that gap and back open again? So I've got this one with two going open at the same time. So I like that. I haven't felt the need to turn the juice flow off to fill it. So, you know, I've just left it. It's like for me, it's just leave it. But, and top fill. I like the top fill. So, I mean, that's one with this locking ring, you aren't going to knock it or, you know, worry about it coming open. It is locked, and it's not a major hassle to get it undone. And obviously with mouth to lung, you know, you're filling it up twice a day maximum, I would have thought. So that's another good point. Flavour, I'm going to say it's great flavour from this tank. Let's have another have another go. I do like it when they pop. Let's have a go back on the, so I've got two on the go here. Let's have a go on the, actually that's a good point, the difference in height between the 2mm and the 3.5 is not a great deal, and same diameter. So you hear this one's a bit quieter, this wick is a bit thicker. No popping, so depends how you build it. Another positive, I've had no leaks, no gurgling, and the ease of how to wick. I actually made it look hard, but the ease of how to coil it and wick it is dead simple. It really is. Doesn't get any easier than that, folks. It really doesn't. And finally, I think the build quality. The build quality is astounding. The threading's all good. I like the way the glass slides off those O-rings. That, for me, is a very good way of doing it. One or two other tanks have done that in the past. And yeah, I think the overall build quality is good. So, negatives. Well, I've only really got one. One major gripe, one particular gripe. There's no spare glass. And I think it would have been nice to have had a spare glass. We all break them. Yes, I'm going to stock them. I haven't got any at the moment, but I very, very soon will have. And I believe they're going to be bringing out like a, this is glass, proper glass. They're going to be bringing out a polycarbonate one, I think, and an Ultim version. So there's going to be 3 different types of glasses to suit all, you know, in the future. So that's a good thing. So I'd like to thank Ambition Mods for putting their faith in me and Nature Vape for this product. And they've been a joy to work with. They really have. So that's also, you know, in life you can't ask for more. But you know, this is this is supposed to be a review. I'll keep it as that. I just wanted to thank them. So I don't think there's anything more I've got to say about the tank. Until next time. See you later. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.